This episode of The Dirt is being brought to you by Preferred Materials, Siesta Pebble, Edison National Bank, Morris DePew, and Stick Boy.
Hi, I'm Savannah Phillips.
And I'm Philip Ford.
And we're here to give you the dirt on all things Lee BIA.
Today, we have a couple of special guests with us. Let's start with Crystal, the Executive Director of the Lee BIA Builders Care. Take it away, Crystal.
Thanks, Philip. Builders Care is the nonprofit charitable arm of the Lee Building Industry Association. Our mission is to provide emergency construction services at no cost to elderly and or disabled homeowners and their families in Lee County. We are excited to announce that we will be hosting our first annual Hearts and Hammer Hold'em Poker Tournament presented by All-Star Equipment Rentals and Sales on Friday, April 30th at the Fort Myers Event Center. Doors will open at 5:30 for you to enjoy music, dinner, and cocktails, and we will shuffle up and deal at 7 p.m. There are many exciting sponsorship opportunities available, and we encourage you to get involved. Whether you are an avid player, just learning, or simply want to enjoy a night out with friends, we've got something for everyone. 100% of proceeds from this event will directly benefit Builders Care and its mission of helping our neighbors in need. It is through events such as this that we are able to raise funds to continue to support our life-changing efforts. For more information or to register, please contact the Builders Care office at 239-938-0056 or visit our website at leebuilderscare.com. We hope to see you there. Now we're going to check in with Emily and see what events the Lee BIA has planned.
Thanks, Crystal. On Wednesday, May 5th, you can join us for breakfast at 7:45 at the Crown Plaza in Bell Tower and hear from Rusty Payton, Chief Executive Officer of the Florida Home Builders Association, and other guest speakers. Also, be sure to mark your calendars for June 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the 14th Annual Bricks and Sticks Fishing Tournament. Registration is now open and there are sponsorship opportunities available. Visit BIA.net for more info. That's all we have going on for now. Let's check in with Savannah on membership.
Thanks, Emily. Before we go to Philip for an inside scoop on government affairs, I wanted to give a quick warm welcome to all of our new members. We are excited to have you as part of the membership and can't wait to meet you. Now, I'm going to let Philip introduce you to another special guest we have with us today. Philip?
Thanks, Savannah. I'm here with Dave Loveland, Director of Lee County Department of Community Development. Thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
Well, I invited Dave to come over because, as many of you know, we've been dealing with an uptick in permitting throughout the, I guess since the end of last year, and it's caused significant delays in getting your permits and plan reviews and things like that. So I thought I'd have Dave come over and talk to us about what he's working on, what the county's doing to try to address some of these issues. So I think you're in the hot seat right now. We got him in the hot seat.
It's burning.
So. But I know we've had multiple conversations. It was a huge uptick at the end of last year with the new code going into effect, and the market. I don't think anybody predicted the market's just soared throughout the first part of this year. So maybe you could share a little bit about what y'all are working on and try to address some of the staffing issues and delays that you're seeing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, just to put some numbers to it, generally there's two different things happening. The level of activity as a whole is up pretty significantly. The permit activity compared to the prior year is up 15% overall, and then the activity that requires the more involved review is up 33%. And on top of that, we had a big slug of permit requests that came in December because of the new building code.
Correct.
That took effect at the end of December. So December of 2020, we had 123% more applications than we had in December of the prior year.
Yes.
So that's caused a big backlog in terms of our review process that we're dealing with. What we started with immediately was authorizing overtime, so we're paying staff overtime to try to work through the different steps of the review process and move the cases along. We've hired some outside help from private consultants that are helping us with both plan review and building inspections activities.
And that's a group in Miami. I think y'all have used it before.
We've used a couple of different firms, actually 3 different firms, and we're allocating staff from other parts of DCD that aren't as busy. We're utilizing them to help move the process along and assist with that. And we're filling all the vacancies that we have. in the building permit related sections of our department.
Yeah, I know a few years ago, we had requested some additional staffing, and I think y'all were able to get that, but some of those were not filled because we didn't have the need, but.
Right,
So those
right.
should be moved quickly. Are you finding it difficult, maybe it's early in the process? I know Cape Coral just authorized to hire 11 new positions. Are y'all finding it difficult to fill those positions yet, or?
It's a challenge, particularly on the building permit plan review side and inspections, because it requires a certain level of experience in the construction industry, and it requires certifications from the state,
Yes.
so they have to pass a test. So you don't just find those people on the street. It's kind of a specialized field, so it is a little bit of a challenge filling some of those positions, but we're having some decent luck at this point in filling most of the vacancies that we have. So we're excited to have some new people on board to help us. It
Well, what
takes
do-
time to get everybody trained.
Not to put you on the spot, but when do you think you might see some normalization? Because I think we're up to like 56 days from intake to pick up. I know submittals have slowed down, or intake has slowed down some.
Right.
Do you
Right.
foresee a couple of weeks, another month, or where we might see some normalization?
I think it'll be another month or two. We've gotten through the big slug that we experienced in December. So, we're at about the end of January in terms of the reviews that we're dealing with now. So that's accelerating that gap in time is coming down at this point, plus all the extra resources that we're utilizing.
Well, before I let you go, we've been talking more about the building side of it. On the development side, are you seeing delays there? I've heard some people say that zoning, or there's been some issues there. Y'all hiring some new people for that perspective. From the development side, are y'all seeing some delays there as well?
A little bit on the development order side, through our development services section. Planning and zoning activity levels are up, but right now they're not really delayed from our standard reviews. And we do have the process, I didn't mention this earlier, we're moving toward electronic submittals and requiring electronic submittals from everything that comes to us from contractors. So
And that goes into effect April 19th.
April 19th, big day.
So April 19th, this is going to all electronic. Collier's done this. I think Charlotte's
Right.
looking at doing this. Others have. There's actually, I think, some legislation that actually may mandate it.
Right.
That I've heard. So April 19th, we are going to all electronic.
So there'll be a few exceptions for owner-builder type applications and things like that, but the fact that we wouldn't have to handle as much paper as we do now will be a big help. And it allows for concurrent reviews, because the review of a building permit plan goes through a couple of different sections for different purposes. And paper, that requires a linear progression through each of those groups. Once they're done with it, they move it on to the next group. But electronically, everybody can be looking at it at the same time.
Yeah, I know when I talked to Sean, his chief building official, he thought that was a big help. The electronic, everybody can look at it at the same time for the most part. We'll finish up with it. I know we haven't talked about this, but we had talked about privately y'all doing some upgrades on software side that may help as well with getting things progressed quicker.
Right,
So
right.
can you talk about that, and then
Sure.
we'll move out of here.
We had updated our permitting software package a couple of years ago and implemented that. A little bumpy when that came out, but we've gotten it worked out now. But we are looking at an upgrade to that, because there's peripheral programs that go with that weren't working as well with the new software. So we're upgrading some of those peripherals and getting an update to the permitting software, all of which should be implemented within the next year or so, which should help. And that'll help for the people that are submitting electronically. A big upgrade is with the portal that they would use to submit their plans and register. So we want to make that as easy as possible for people.
Well, thanks for coming and meeting with us. And I know there's not a quick fix for what's happening to us, but I think y'all have been very gracious in meeting with us. Speaking of meeting with us, the second Thursday of every month at 7:30 a.m. we meet with the chief building official. Sometimes you're in there, and some of the other staff to discuss permitting plan review. It's 7:30 a.m. second Thursday of every month. It's on our calendar, so we'd love for our members to come and join us. Really, conversations like this is how we solve problems and get action, get things moving. So thank you for coming out, Dave. Well, that's all we have for this month. Be sure to catch us next month so you can get the dirt on all things Lee BIA. Let's start with Crystal, the Executive Director of the Lee BIA Builders Care. Take it away, Crystal.
We look right. Right. Right.
I didn't know which way
It says right.